Subnetting is a really important topic that you need to know for the CCNA exam. So make sure that you spend time learning how to subnet network. Now, based on the feedback of students who have taken my course in the past, I've extended the subnetting labs in the course. I've created a whole bunch of basic subnetting labs and then some more complex subnetting labs. If you find the basic labs too easy, then skip ahead to the more complex labs, but make sure that you spend the time learning subnetting for the CCNA exam. In this first subnetting lab, we have two PCs, PC1 and PC2, and two switches, switch 1 and switch 2. These devices are currently in the same subnet, but what you're going to do in this lab is move the router 1 between these two switches and create two subnets. The subnet at the moment is 192.168.1.0/24. So you need to work out which part of this is the network portion, which part of it is the host portion, then break this up into two subnets. So put the first subnet on the left, second subnet on the right, router in between. You'll need to configure the router with the correct IP addresses. Looking at PC1, desktop, command prompt. The IP address of this PC is 192.168.1.1/24, so 255.255.255.0. If you don't know how to work out that this is 255.255.255.0, make sure that you spend some time learning the basics of subnetting. Depending on which course you're taking, it'll be one of the videos in my course. Okay, so again, ipconfig, that command there shows me the IP address, subnet mask, and default gateway of PC1. If we have a look at PC2, desktop command prompt, ipconfig, IP address of this PC is 192.168.1.2, and hopefully PC2 should be able to ping PC1, which it can, and PC1 should be able to ping PC2. Now you need to change the IP addresses where you specify that the PCs use the first IP address in each subnet. So the subnet may change. Router needs to use the last IP address in the subnet. As mentioned, you need to connect the switches to the router. So move the router into your topology over here, connect the switches to the router. You need to configure the switches with the second last IP address in the subnet. At the moment, they're not configured with IP addresses, but you need to configure the switches with relevant IP addresses. So here's switch 1. No IP address is configured on the switch. So show IP interface brief. Notice no IP address is configured on VLAN 1 on the switch. You'll need to configure the switch with its IP address and relevant information to make sure that this network works. I've said that you need to verify that all devices can ping each other. That means that you'll need to configure a default gateway. Don't forget to do that on the PCs and the switches so that they can ping each other via the router in the topology. Now, just a note about this lab. If you struggle, remember that I've given you the solutions in the next video. So if you're struggling with this, just watch the next video where I show you how to configure the lab step by step and explain theory of how to get this to work. Please download the lab, see if you can configure it yourself, see if you can get it working.